Well, I'm alone again, so it's time for another one of solo episodes. One topic, cue the music. Hello everyone, it's me Bigpod again, there is no Josh, I'm in a grey shirt, so let's begin, shall we? Well, today we're gonna have a one topic show again with one person, so what should we talk about? I know, Valve Watch. There has been some exciting new news in regards to Valve and Steam Machine and Steam Frame. So, let's first start with the big one. Steam Deck OLED price increase, at least in the US. I don't know how it is in Europe. I actually haven't checked. Probably also price increase because we get the same price point. Oh, actually no. So, if you are in the US, the price increased to $7.89 for the... So, let's actually be more specific. The price increase went from $5.49 to $7.89 for the 512GB OLED model, while the 1TB OLED model went from $6.49 to $9.49, around $300 increase. While in Europe, I have the before prices, but the current price is $7.79 and €9.19 for the respective models, and you can actually get them, which is something not sure you can do in the US currently. Apparently they've been going in and out of stock in the US. So at this point, what does that mean, the price increase? So it's hard to actually say because, well, it could have several different meanings, the price increase. So meaning number one that is closer to my heart is that they increase the price not to actually just screw over people, like some have been alluding to, like they increase the price to screw over those who haven't yet bought Steam Decks. It's 4 years old. Steam Deck was priced accordingly because it was a loss leader. Because you will pay money to Valve to actually buy games. That's how they made money on it. While on the other hand, now it's likely that only people who already have a whole lot of games are buying their second, third Steam Deck. That's losing money. While on the other hand, realistically, price increases due to RAM are also big costs. But what I think actually happened is they increased the cost of Steam Deck for one specific reason. Within a week or two, there'll be a new loss leader in town. Specifically, Steam Frame. And it is also likely that they might cap the price to some point on Steam Machine. So it might also be a bit of a loss leader. Or just a loss. Sorry, it's kind of late when I started recording. I recorded some other video today. And yes, the price increase is kinda bad. But I think it is because the stock of frames and machines will eat up in their margins anyway. So, and those are the items that will bring in game sales, not the deck. And why do I think that is the case? Because I actually thought this would happen. I haven't vocalized this because, well, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to look like an idiot, but I thought that the price of Steam Deck will increase before the release of Steam Frame and Steam Machine, because, well, there will be a new loss leader in town. And guess what? A new loss leader in town is coming up. And I think this is the perfect time for it to be for it to come out in about a week or two, or the announcement for it and the pre-sale to come out in a week or two, which would also make sense because let's say in Q1, which ends at the end of the month we just started. So maybe today, which is when I'm recording, and the day of release, maybe we'll already get some news. But probably over the weekend, or like middle of the week, not a Monday. And things have been going, actually, like a lot of news. For example, Valve's The Lab has been getting Steam Frame controller work, default settings for Steam Frame controller, and so on. And if we go back a bit, look, I haven't even talked about it, but how quickly people turned on Valve for increasing the price of Steam Deck. Holy crap. They went from Valve is the best, most gamer-friendly company to hating on them within span of minutes. But we will see what happens. So before we continue, I'm gonna once again tell you guys about my favorite price points, or my most likely price points we will see Steam Machine and Steam Frame at. So Steam Machine will be at probably either $7.99, $8.99, or $9.99. You'll say this is a big spread, but yeah, that's the realistic numbers. $7.99 is the no profit margin one. $8.99 is the average one, which I think probably won't happen. It will either be $7.99 or $9.99, but it's like the average number if they are just taking the middle number somewhere. And $9.99 is the profit one. But yeah. But what about Steam Frames? So, Steam Frame. I have no logical or no actual data points for it. So, I'm gonna go off my wishes. $6.99. I'm waiting for something to happen because I just said out loud $6.99 for Steam Frame. Which, yes, some of you may be shocked, but yeah, I think $6.99 is a perfect place for a loss leader like Steam Frame. Steam Frame will bring in customers, but more importantly, Steam Frame will bring in sales for anybody who isn't a VR customer yet. So they don't own any VR games. So they will have to buy 5, 6, 10, 20 VR games over time because of that one item. One relatively expensive item. It's also the cost I would buy Steam Frame for, and maybe even just Steam Frame if Steam Machine got overly expensive. But at this point, yeah, any other price point, I think Steam Frame wouldn't work, because like Steam Frame, in my opinion, is supposed to be like the entry point to VR for many people. Like, yeah, Oculus or Meta Quest is a great tool, but nobody will be buying that because it isn't really connected to them. Like, yeah, I know of MetaQuest, but MetaQuest always so much more felt like something a company would get. Yeah, I know it's supposed to be more targeted at consumers, but you know what I mean. Whereas Steam Frame, with its gaming focus, is what most people will wanna get. Like most gamers, because it is sold by Valve, because it's sold on Steam, most gamers will be like, yeah, I might wanna get that, and that's the point. And that's what will bring the sales, and those sales will bring in game sales, and that's what they want. So, yeah, I think $6.99, and if they are smart, they'll go even lower. $5.99, $6.49, those two even better. Like they would get so many sales from that. But then again, you also have to remember that it would become a loss leader, and a possibly heavy loss leader, which would mean they would have to think about how this, if it makes sense, if they have enough money from potential sales. Let's say they sell 100,000 Steam frames at, let's say, $300 loss. That means, or €300 loss, however I call it. That means they have to, at 30% of, let's say, a $60 game, €60 game, it's actually exactly the same. So €60 game at 30% of it, at 10% of it is, that's €18 per game. 100,000 sales of that, that's 300 times 100,000, which is 3 million, 30 million, 300 million? No. 30 million, that should be 30 million. That's 30 million. They have to bring in 30 million with sales. Okay, what does that actually mean? 30 million with sales at $18 per sale. Which means they would have to sell about 2,307,693 games, which, by the way, means every gamer would need to buy about 24 games. Yeah. So, no. And how do we know that? 24 times 13 is 312. Yeah. So at 200. I made a mistake. 13. I was supposed to do 18. I'm a genius calculator. Let's go again. Yeah, 16666. That would be at 1,666,676 at 100,000. That's 17 games. Which makes sense since 17 times 18 is 306. So, 17 games. Now that's more achievable, but still, it's quite a lot for one person to buy 17 games. Now it had $200 or euro loss. That's just 12 games. Now that's more achievable. The problem is that not every gamer will buy 12 games for VR, right? Like, sorry, like even if I buy Steam VR, like the Steam Frame, how many games will I buy? Probably not more than 2 or 3, if I'll buy any. Like, yeah, I'll try playing some games, but I bet I can find something that works with VR in my catalog already. That has like VR mode. Like at the end of the day, some racing games probably have VR, or something like probably I can find something that is like literally VR, like flying game or something that is free, or like I'll buy one game, maybe some VR flying game or something. It won't be like a huge amount of GameSpot. So that's a problem. Okay, I just got some news I need to check later. Uh, so at that point, like, actually, like, I would cause them a huge loss. I would cause them like near $200 loss, €200 loss. That is for them unacceptable, because like if 1% of us is like that, so at 100,000 sales, 1% is 100. No, it's 1,000 actually. Times 300 or 200. That's $200,000 of pure loss. Okay, let's go with minus 18,000. Wait, what? Yeah, that's 18,000. Like, that's $182,000 of loss. That ain't insignificant amount of money. Yeah, it isn't a lot for a company that will, like, out of a sale, let's say it's $6.99 for 100,000 units. That's 69 million. That's 69.9 million. It's almost $70 million. That's a lot of money. So, but remember, if that thing is $200 less than what it should have been $8.99. That means they lost $20 million at that point, and they are never going to recuperate 200,000 of that. But yeah, like, I'll still buy games through them. So while Steam Frame won't generate new sales from me, it'll generate actual, like, just won't generate new sales. Like, so for example, if I bought Steam Frame, what would I use it for? Testing out VR, playing things like flat screen games, so 2D games, doing productivity shit on it. Like, that's, like, I would try and make a workflow of productivity through VR. Like, that's what I would try to do, like coding in VR and like remote desktoping VR coding. That's what I would do. You know, I'm known for that shit. So, like, the remote desktoping, that's what I'm known for. Like, people know me for the fact that I have a remote desktop for gaming PC. At least some people know me for that. Those who listen to the podcast and watch my videos, because I keep mentioning it. But yeah, like, that's what I would be looking at as a sale item. I was just checking my temperature in the room. It's 28°C, which is hot. Recording does that to the room. Yeah, but at the same time, there has been some other movement we should talk about. Here we go. Steam Machine update. Steam Machine Welcome Tour was added to Steam's backend about like yesterday or 2 days ago. Like, And basically, people who were watching this during the time of Steam Controller, the new one, can tell you that this happened about like 2 to 3 weeks, few weeks, as one of the sources said, before launch. So yeah, it is happening. And yeah, so it is happening. And I knew it. So one of the things they could do is they could release a couple of VR games with Steam Frame. That will get the price. That will get overall the actual like, because they will get like full price of it back, not just a bit. So that's what I think they should do. They should release like 2-3 VR games with it, and maybe even possibly Half-Life 3. I know I won't play it. I don't get the excitement of Half-Life. I never played Half-Life. That's not, I don't know. So I don't get the excitement of it, but I bet a whole lot of people would buy, especially if it was like $60 with Steam Machine bundle. And Steam Machine was like 60, like Steam Machine bundle that's $60, or even give like 10% price decrease to Half-Life Steam Machine was, and like stuff like that, like, or they can make Steam Half-Life Alyx 2. Boom. Together with, that's released at the same time as Steam Frame. Boom. That's your hundreds of thousands of sales you need. Or I think they may also make Portal, right? Portal 2. Who made? Yeah, Portal 2 was released by Valve in March 2010. Guess what? They could make Portal 3 or Portal 2 VR or Portal VR or whatever version of Portal for VR. Boom. Absolute everyone, basically everyone who would buy themselves Steam Frame would buy themselves Portal. Yeah, it wouldn't be as much. It'd still be probably about $30 worth of gain. But remember, they could easily market at $80, and people would still buy them. Like do a pack of €200. Portal 1 VR remaster, Portal 2 VR remaster, and Portal 3 VR. $250 bundle. Everyone would buy VR Portal, I bet. Half-Life Alyx 2, and I bet a lot of people who are gonna be buying Steam Frames and like have that a bit of that nostalgia for Half-Life will be buying Half-Life Alyx. That's why I think it makes sense to make Steam Frame a loss leader, because bunch of games will be bought. But at the same time, yeah, idiots like me will be a problem for them. Okay. Now I'm gonna be looking at my second source because I have multiple sources on this. Okay. So, as I previously mentioned, oh great, lightning. Valve's D Lab got Steam Frame controller work. Okay, so that's, and there is a new different thing. They got default bindings on D Lab. But what is D Lab? I don't know. Steam D Lab. I need to actually learn what Steam's the lab is. Steam's the lab. Okay. The Lab by Valve from 2016. It's a free to play game, sort of. Welcome to The Lab, a compilation of Valve's room-scale VR experiments set in a pocket universe within Aperture Science. Fix a robot, defend a castle, adopt a mechanical dock, and more. Still not sold? It's free. How do I say this? That's a very Valve way of saying things. And yeah, it's VR only. So yeah. Makes sense that this would get the VR controller data. Okay. And yeah, apparently it was about like what, two to 3 weeks, yeah, before Steam, when Steam controller received the treatment of adding Welcome Tour to Steam's backend. Interesting. So yeah, we should probably see in what 2 weeks everything, maybe within a week. I believe on Friday we should have. There is Summer Game Fest, which is probably gonna be at least some connection to it, but we're gonna see. But it is also now also for the sad news. There are some rumors Steam Machine is gonna be very expensive. As in, even before the Rampocalypse, the original price was supposed to be higher than the 1 terabyte OLED model that is now priced 1 terabyte OLED model. That's one of the rumors that was started by sadly it's Bradley on Twitter. The Brad Lynch. I'll see. We're gonna see what will happen. But I'm not sure this is so easy. I think the price, as I said, $6.99, $7.99, $9.99 are Steam frame, so $6.99, and Steam Machine likely $7.99 or $9.99 for the base models, of course. And this is where they can milk us. The upgrade, the 1 terabyte upgrade for Steam frame could easily run us what, 300-400 euros. Same for the Steam Machine. They can milk us on Steam controller combo and storage combo. And guess what? Here's the thing. There's another rumor that I saw floating about. Steam controller is as expensive as it is because of trying to get the price of Steam Machine as low as possible or look as low as possible. That's what I also read. I don't know if that is true. I don't have a source for that or anything, but that's what I read on Twitter, which would also make sense. So I don't know. We're gonna see. Okay, I think that's it I have for Valve Watch, and I don't think I have many news I can share or anything else because I haven't looked at anything. Well, we can quick fire a couple of things. For those of you who are rocket watchers, you know that Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket, the New Glenn, blew up on the pad. That is bad. That could be a big problem for our space ideals, especially the America's return to the moon. On the other hand, there is apparently a new CPU that will be for the new generation of handheld by Intel. Nice. YouTube is automatically labeling AI videos, and we can go on and on and on, but I really do not see anything that I can really quickly talk about, like in any sort of like expanded fashion. But yeah, that explosion was spectacular. So I think I'm gonna say thank you guys for watching for this week. Don't forget to check out our Patreon in the link in the description or show notes. Also check out the mine and Josh's YouTube channels, and what else there? Oh yeah, check out our Matrix room, Matrix server, whatever, and our Discord. Again, all of it down in the description and show notes. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment or three. And if you're gonna leave a comment, also think about maybe sending us an email at contact@tuxbase.com. And if you want to support us more directly, again, contact@tuxbase.com. Maybe you want to sponsor us. And again, if you want to just throw some money at us, patreon.com/notaxallowed. You will get some additional content, more high quality content. So everything you see right now, you're gonna get in audio format at 320 kilobits per second, which is one of the highest outputs my editor can do. And now I'm gonna say, if you're on any other platform, check us out at show.tuxbase.com, which is our one and only source of truth. And I'll see you next time, hopefully with Josh. Goodbye.